Greetings to everyone. I'm Annalee Cocjin, a Filipino professor at Central Philippine University. I am pleased to have been selected to present my paper, Error Analysis in the Written Text of Pre-Service Teachers. Let me begin by citing John F. Kennedy. An error doesn't become a mistake until you refuse to correct it. Errors are a normal aspect of writing. Studies show that writing is the most difficult skill, so many learners tend to make errors in their writing. The introduction part of this study states that writing is a type of communication that allows the authors to express their feelings, thoughts, ideas on paper. Harmer emphasizes that it is a constructive activity that requires the exploration and transmission of ideas. This demonstrates that writing is a difficult process in which errors are unavoidable. Errors, according to Porter, are the strongest evidence for validating how learners learn their second language. Error analysis is a vital aspect of applied linguistics and second language learning. It is an organized compilation and recording of errors. With this, a constructive classroom-based teaching intervention could be implemented as an appropriate measure for learners to improve on their writing problems. For the objectives of the study, these analyze the errors found in the written text by BSED English major pre-service teachers of Central Philippine University, Iloilo City, Philippines. Specifically, these answered the following questions. First, what are the errors found in the written text of the BSED English major pre-service teachers in terms of the following categories? A, omission, B, addition, C, selection, and D, misordering. Second, what are the sources of these errors? Third, what teaching interventions can be made in eliminating these errors? And what monograph can be designed based on the findings? For the literature review, let's begin with the definition of error analysis. Error analysis is a method applied to analyze second and foreign language learners' speech or written performance. Corder regarded the significance of error analysis as something beyond merely eliminating students' errors. This follows a scientific approach, according to Corder, which begins with collecting of data or the selection and gathering of samples. Second, identifying errors in the written text or the ascertaining of the errors in the student's written production. Third, describing the errors, which is identifying of ill-formed sentences and their characteristics. And explaining the source of errors, explaining where errors come from so that valuable appraisal can be made. This is the schematic presentation of the theoretical background. This diagram illustrates how the errors in the written text of pre-service teachers were examined. Using Stephen Corder's error analysis theories, errors were categorized into omission, addition, selection, and misordering. These errors were also identified based on their sources, such as interlingual and intralingual. Based on the findings of the study, a monograph with the title Writing Fundamentals for Pre-Service Teachers was made. Studies show the famous aspects of errors. First, errors may arise from different sources. Second, learning English grammar is a challenge. Third, transfer surfaces can cause errors. And the last, teachers must be aware of the influences of the first language. Initially, Beltran surveyed the written production of student teachers and discovered that grammatical errors were due to misinformation and omission. This revealed that the student teacher's Filipino language, or L1, interferes with their structures. which is why they frequently use incorrect word forms in place of correct ones in their utterances. Orbit discovered that students make incorrect word choice, complex and wordy sentences in their essays. As a result, English classes or sessions should be recommended to help these students improve their writing weaknesses. In a similar vein, Katabay investigated the types of sentences made by college students and found that they use wrong words, run-on sentences, and use misplaced modifiers. The results suggested that teachers should provide students with the best interventions to help them improve their writing skills. Yaqub and Hussein finally discovered omission, addition, misinformation, and disordering in tertiary level students' English production, all of which are caused by interlingual and intralingual sources. They suggested that the curriculum for this group of students be reviewed and evaluated. For the research method, the study employs a qualitative research design to describe the errors found in the written text of BSed English major. This design deals with words, phrases, sentences, and paragraphs from the source of data. The source of data includes written text from the portfolios of BSed English major students, where the 11 reflections with the title, "What Student Teaching Means to Me," were evaluated and subjected to error analysis. The data generating process begins with phase 1, collecting samples. Phase 2, identifying the errors in the written texts. Phase 3 is the describing errors. Phase 4 is explaining the sources of errors. Phase 5 is the error correction intervention, where an intervention program is recommended. And phase 6 is the monograph construction. For the discussion of results, the errors and their sources. For the first category, omission. Pre-service teachers omitted the following: past tense marker D, auxiliary B, plural noun marker S, articles A, and the prepositions to and of, pronouns it, and some conjunctions that all in all affected the sentence structure. Based on the findings, errors are first caused by intralingual factors, specifically when students ignore the rule restrictions, unable to apply the limits, and unable to see the difference of their first language from the target language. Kusuma Wardhani affirmed the results of the present study that learners' omission errors are due to their lack of mastery in complete application of rules of the target language and complexity of the English language. Thus, they constructed sentences which are based on their first language. For addition, the students' addition were be verb, verb phrase, plural noun marker S, article A, and prepositions, and were all attributed to the intralingual sources, especially on overgeneralization, where students relate their learned rule earlier to form a new utterance, or the ignorance of rule restrictions and incomplete application of rules. Yaqub and Hussein explained that sources can be due to interlingual and come from the first language, which always interferes with learning a second language. Moreover, according to the researchers, it is a natural phenomenon. Hiligaynon and English could have universal properties, but not in all aspects. For selection, the following errors are noted: present tense instead of past tense, plural noun marker S, articles A, and the pronoun you, the preposition to, and some verbose expressions were also noted. As investigated, all these selection errors are intralingual in nature. Richard stated that errors like these happen because of the unsuccessful traits of learning, such as faulty application of rules and unawareness of rules. For the last category, ordering. The students missed to put in order their sentences. The first type of disordering is run-on or fused sentences where they put the sentences improperly. The second type is called comma splice, where the expression lacks a predicate to complete the meaning. And the third belongs to dangling modifier category, where the modifiers are misplaced. These sentence structure errors are classified under the intralingual source, where according to Amory and Pute, sentence structure errors are categorized as intralingual in nature since structures reveal that they are a product of paraphrasing, where the students translate the target language into their mother tongue. For the teaching intervention program, this was made to eliminate the errors. The intervention program aimed to give students the opportunity to recognize their writing challenges and revisit their writing foundation. This instructional approach must have the following elements. First, critical outcomes, tasks, personnel responsible, resources, timetable, and budget. Importantly, any intervention should include a monograph or instructional material that teachers may use in their classes to assist students master the principles of reflective texts and improve their writing skills. A monograph, which is a research output, was also designed based on the findings. This monograph aimed to help pre-service teachers understand the essentials of writing and give them the opportunities to practice and better their writing skills. In conclusion, the findings demonstrate the importance of errors. To build successful second language teaching and learning, student errors must be thoroughly investigated. Students' written texts contain errors from two sources, such as interlingual and intralingual. These sources make it difficult for them to accurately produce the target language, requiring them to rely on a non-standard rule that they prefer. Errors are a common feature of non-native speakers' written work, showing processing difficulties caused by limitations. It is unavoidable for learners to make errors while learning a foreign language. Learning any language is hard work, so prepare well. Put in the hours and you will achieve your goals. According to Thomas Edison, there is no substitute for hard work. Thank you for your time. Thank you for allowing me to share my study. Have a wonderful day.